how to take what you already know and make money with it. So over the years, I have helped over 6,000 people create lucrative careers as entrepreneurs. Now, if you've spent any time in the online space looking at creative ways to make money that don't involve sitting in an office from 9 to 5, you've probably come across some of the more cliche options that are out there. Things like affiliate marketing, which for some reason they've rebranded and called digital marketing, which is super misleading, and I don't understand what's going on there. Or Amazon FBA or drop shipping. But the thing that people who tend to work with me have a problem with these things is that they don't bring a lot of meaning into your life. So sure, maybe you'll make some money with them. Hopefully Amazon doesn't shut down this loophole. Eventually, drop shipping's really dropped in its ability to actually do anything, but it's also putting more like just stuff into the world. And so what I found is that what is really important to a lot of people is meaning. And I really believe that that's the thing that we have to solve for when we're creating careers that we love. And it's especially beneficial when we take what we know and we are able to infuse it into these new creative ways of making money online. So also, if you've spent any time on the internet at all, you probably have noticed that a lot of people are leaving the office. They are creating careers from scratch, and they are finding ways to make great money without having to sacrifice their time autonomy so that they can, not squeeze their big, beautiful life into a few hours at the end of their workday. This is something that I'm super, super passionate about. And so I want to talk to you about how you can take what you already know so that you're not starting from scratch and create lucrative businesses that will give you the time freedom that you're probably looking for. The first way that you can take what you already know and turn it into a seriously lucrative career is with copywriting. Now, if you are familiar with copywriting is also considered sales writing or marketing writing. And yes, there has been a lot of talk about whether or not AI will replace this. We have seen the buzz wear off, and we have seen a big bounce back in hiring of copywriters because we've seen that AI is just nowhere near where it needs to be able to replace all that goes into copywriting. Now, as I have worked with thousands of copywriters, what I've seen is they have taken their unique passions and their previous work experience or education or expertise, and they've infused it into their copywriting careers to give them a leg up on the process, which has been amazing to witness because I've seen people do it in all sorts of industries. I've seen people do it in special needs, in neurodiversity, in mental health, in textiles, knitting and yarn. I've seen people take their legal careers and make more money than they were as a lawyer through writing in the legal field. I've seen nurses and occupational therapists and speech pathologists, for some reason that word's so hard for me to say, ironically, take what they know, what they've already been doing in their career, and then start copywriting for the very people that they still love and are passionate about, especially if you're a teacher or a nurse where you went into your profession because you wanted to make a real difference in the world. It's such a powerful thing to be able to take what you know to infuse it into a brand new career that gives you a lot more time freedom and the ability to make way, 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 way more. But you're still having that positive impact because you're still making sure that the world knows about the brands and businesses that you love and believe in. Birth workers is another really amazing one. If you have a passion for parenting, early childhood education, birth work, or all the things that come with being a mom, that's a whole industry. You get to take what you already know or what you're already passionate about, and you get to copyright in that industry. And that gives you, again, I said, a leg up on the process. Now, why does that give you a leg up on the process? First and foremost, people tend to like to work with specialists. It's something that we all kind of inherently do. If you have an issue with your heart, you're not going to go to a general practitioner. You're going to go to a cardiologist because you know that you're already going to have an elevated conversation. They're going to be so much more tuned into what's going on with your particular condition. So same thing with copywriters. So when you have a niche or an industry that you're already working in, you actually narrow your field of focus, meaning that's going to elevate the time in which it takes you to be a respected industry in your field. Now, again, I've worked with over 6,000 copywriters, and I've seen that this really only takes about a year of consistently showing up, working with clients, and then you build a reputation for yourself, and then they start handing out referrals. It's insanely amazing. And I do want to reiterate that you don't actually have to take what you know as in your background, your expertise, like maybe you were a real estate agent, and go into real estate copywriting. You can actually take what you're passionate about. So again, you won't be starting from scratch because you'll be focusing on the thing that you really enjoy. And I think that's really important because I do have a lot of people that I work with who come in and they think, well, I was a real estate agent. It makes probably more sense for me to be a real estate agent, copywriter, or work in real estate, in the real estate industry, when in reality, you are going to be reading and writing about all of the things related to whatever your niche is. And so you really do want to pick something that you're passionate in. An example for me is that in health and wellness, I really didn't have a big background in it. The only 2 real jobs I've ever had was I worked first in hazardous waste cleanup, which is so random, and on a biofuels grant. So I was just not anywhere near health and wellness. In fact, I was arguably working in an industry that was maybe negatively impacting my health. But that was something that I was super passionate about. I was really passionate about like food and nutrition. I got into biohacking for a hot minute. And I just decided that if I'm going to be reading and writing and copywriting in a particular industry, I'm going to choose something that I'm really excited about. So I chose health and wellness. Now, when you spend 10 years as a copywriter in a particular subject, you will become an expert because copywriting is literally getting paid to learn. You will read a ton, you will research a ton, and that's not for everyone. But if you are like me and you love to learn, it's kind of a dream come true. And by the end of it, I became such an expert in topics like epigenetics and the gut microbiome that I was actually asked to write chapters and textbooks on behalf of doctors. What a testament to how much research and expertise you build through the actual action of copywriting. So copywriting is one of my favorite ways to take what you already know and what you're passionate about and to infuse it into a meaningful career. Because again, money will only take you so far, at least in my experience. There has to be meaning and purpose behind the career that you choose in order to be excited to get out of bed in the morning. Now, there are 2 other ways that you can take something that you already know or super passionate about and create a highly lucrative career out of. The second one is taking a hobby or a passion and monetizing it. Now, there's a lot of resistance to this in some worlds, especially in the artist world, because people tend to think that that is going to taint the thing or ruin the thing or make the thing less enjoyable. Now, this is so freaking important. When that happens, first of all, there's always exceptions, and I'm sure this can happen regardless, but more often than not, the reason that happens is because the person who is taking their hobby or passion and turning it into a career is not doing the proper personal development and mindset work necessary to make sure that you have really strong boundaries and a healthy money mindset so that you are not slaving away, so that you're able to protect the thing that you love. Let me give you an example. I have a friend who makes beautiful ceramic mugs, and she left her job as a real estate agent making over 6 figures a year to start making these ceramic mugs. Now, you would think, how could somebody make ceramic mugs more lucrative than a 6-figure real estate career? But the thing about being a real estate agent is that she was working constantly. But what I watched my friend go through to create something that truly served her and also gave her purpose and meaning and made her excited to do her work was she went through the necessary mindset work and the necessary personal development work to make sure her business worked for her. Now, what were some of the things that she did to make this happen? First and foremost, she didn't charge $5 for those mugs. They're handmade ceramic mugs. They actually involve throwing and like making pottery. Now you can tell that I have no idea about making pottery, but they are not something that you should be charging $5 for. So she charges $40 a mug, which might sound like a lot, but when you see them, I think it's easy to see why. They are actual works of art and something that I would love to collect, something that you want, one of or 2 of because they feel really precious and unique. The other thing that she did is she did not turn herself into a factory. She wasn't constantly creating and making and generating endless supplies of mugs. What she does is she creates batches of them, or she'll create maybe 100 or a few hundred of a particular style, and then she will release them all at the same time. This allows her to kind of organize and batch her work, where she's making mugs, she's, setting them. Again, my lack of pottery knowledge is coming out. And then she has a season where she's marketing them and she's launching them, and then she's actually shipping them out. So that allows her to kind of have her sanity, and it allows her to have periods of time where she's really focused on working on a particular part of her business, and she can take a break. She cannot launch. She cannot be creating mugs during summer break when she wants to be with her kids, and she doesn't. The other thing that this does is that it creates a little bit of scarcity and exclusivity. So people really want these mugs because they know she's going to drop them on Instagram only from time to time. So they got to get ready, and they got to be ready to purchase whenever they're available. It's really, truly brilliant. And what she had to do was realize that she needed to give herself permission to figure out how she could make it work so that she continued to love pottery and love making these works of art. And she didn't have to do it according to anybody else's systems or ideals. She got to find a way to make it work for her. And again, that is the big difference between people who take their hobbies and make it into a successful career that they truly love, and the ones who let it burn them out, and the ones who let it spoil it. And again, of course, there's an example of this not working for everyone, but I've seen so many people make it work by having good boundaries and working on their money mindset. So if you have something that you've always loved creating, you can easily turn that into a business. So the third way that you can take what you already know and make a highly lucrative career out of it is by teaching what you know and what you're passionate about. So what I mean here are things like online courses, online programs. Now, the wonderful thing about online courses and online education is there is a massive shift happening in the world right now. People are realizing that it just doesn't make sense to go into tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt by going to college, waiting 4 years, and then going out and getting the experience that they actually need to start a career. Not to mention, then they have all this debt following them around like a big gray looming cloud. And there's been a massive, massive shift in online learning. And that's because people see the value in it more than ever before. I personally am so passionate about it because it's making information more accessible to more people. Going to college is pretty privileged. Being able to afford to go to college is kind of an elite opportunity if you think about it. And if you don't already have financial aid or the help or the acumen to kind of get you through that, then you're going to end up with a ton of debt, which can seriously limit what you're able to do in your life. So online education and creating online courses, yes, it might feel like a little cliche, but it's something that I'm so freaking passionate about because you can help more people by getting what you know into their hands. So if you have something that people ask you about or that you love teaching or talking about, or you just know, if you could get that information into their hands, they would be able to improve their life significantly, whether it's to find a new relationship or navigate a divorce, or help somebody in their family navigate the end of life, or find love, or start a new career, or ask for a raise, or work on their mental health, or overcome some particular challenge that causes them anxiety or sadness or grief. All of those things are how we collectively lift each other up. And there has never been a better time to create an online education program like a course. You've probably seen also how much impact it has on people, but also how much impact it has on the course creator. And that's because a digital product is kind of like a product that's not physical, so it can be sold over and over and over and over again, allowing for really great revenue generation and really great profit margins. And that can be absolutely life-changing for most people because not only are you having a positive impact on those that you work with, but it's also having a positive impact on your life and allowing you to separate your earning potential from the time that you put in. And so you're able to earn more money, which creates more time, which allows you to give back to the world. It is truly an incredible, incredible opportunity. So my 3 favorite ways to take what you already know and to make it a highly lucrative career are copywriting. And again, copywriting is kind of amazing because all businesses need it. And so when you are trained in copywriting, what you quickly realize is that you can start any business because that is the foundation of successful marketing. And then the second one is taking a hobby or a passion and actually monetizing it, and pushing through the fear and the resistance around this can be so incredibly empowering. In fact, if you've never read War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, I highly recommend that book if that's something that you're feeling a lot of resistance around. And then 3, creating an online education program like an online course so that you can teach what you already know and improve the lives of the people who come across your path. All right, there are so many opportunities in today's world, my friend. There's no reason, absolutely no reason, to be stuck inside at a 9-to-5 under fluorescent lights, waiting until you clock out to go see your family and friends. You have opportunities all around you, and I want to encourage you to look around, to put it top of mind, to say, all right, I'm looking for my opportunity, to open your eyes and then to be ready to receive it, because this is how you'll find what that thing is for you. All right, I really hope that this inspires you to bet on yourself, because again, we just have so many freaking opportunities today. There's no reason to be living an unfulfilled life. All right, I hope this helps. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if it does. Don't forget to subscribe. And of course, I love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Thanks, guys.